Hey guys, I decided to transfer over from TikTok to YouTube because I feel like a lot of you guys benefit from the topics that I talk about on my TikTok, but you feel like the TikTok videos are so short. So I was like, why not take my spiritual journey to YouTube so that you guys can benefit from all these amazing topics that I feel like you guys will love to share and learn about together. So, before I start this first podcast, I want to introduce myself. My name is Emel, and I've been on TikTok for a while right now, sharing different stories from the Quran, sharing my spiritual journey with how you can become the best version of yourself, growth mindset. I've been mentoring and coaching girls online for a very long time. I'm a Quran teacher, I teach. I graduated from Harvard University, I studied neuroscience. I'm also someone who really enjoys growth and becoming the best version of myself. And I like teaching other people about my spiritual journey with becoming the person that I am today and just tips and tricks on how I deal with life situations. And I feel like you guys will really enjoy this podcast because it's going to be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of turns, a lot of, you know what I mean? You're going to like it. Trust me. So subscribe if you haven't, inshallah. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. Make sure you guys also follow me on Quranic.mentor, which is another Instagram page that I have for all of my students who I teach the Quran. That being said, let's get to the topic of the video. The topic of this video is about your value and your worth. A lot of times we equate how other people treat us to our value and our worth. And you might be in a situation where you pour all of your love, all of your affection and time into your career or a specific person. And after the return investment doesn't come back to you, you start questioning your value and your worth. Don't do that. Never question your value or your worth when it comes to other people. The reason why is because people are not always on your spiritual level. People are not always aligned with you. And if you meet somebody that's not in alignment with you, they're not going to know what to do with you. It's like giving a Birkin bag to a crackhead. How will that crackhead treat the Birkin bag? Disgusting. He's gonna throw it around. He's not gonna know its value. That's why as a woman, you have to go where you are valued, where you are loved, where you are seen. There's a difference between a man showing you interest and a man actually valuing you. And this is what I always mentor all of the younger girls that I talk to. I tell them, anytime you are in a halal talking stage and you're getting to know someone, there's a difference between interest and value. Somebody can be telling you the most beautiful things and everything that you want to hear, but that doesn't mean that that person has good intent or sincerity. So as a woman, you have to be able to differentiate between both. Going where you are valued will allow you to, become who you are and hold on to your self-esteem and your confidence. As a woman, you cannot function where you do not value. And this goes for men as well. So the reason why I mention this is because a lot of times there are people who think to themselves, well, I poured all of my love and my attention and all of that into this career or this person. And you think to yourself that that person walked away with that love or the career, collapsed or all your dreams collapsed and that's it. That's not how it works. Nobody can walk away with the love, effort, and attention that you gave them or it. No one can. That love is already inside of you. Your job is to cultivate that love and refocus it to yourself. Because your attention and your love is currency. Wherever you give your attention to, you will give it value. Wherever you take your attention away from, you will take away its value and its pedestal that you gave to it in your life. So your job is to be very selective with who you give your value to and who you place a pedestal on. A lot of the people that you guys are placing a pedestal on do not deserve to be on that pedestal. Because a lot of people who are in talking stages or relationships, whatever situation you may be in, they may be talking to someone, and because the person that's holding the knife is attractive, you will allow them to do whatever they want. You will allow them to hurt you with it because they're attractive. So that goes to my second point. My second point is being careful with vanity and being superficial. Not all that is gold, right? Not all that glitters is gold. I'm sorry, I messed up my own quote. Not all that glitters is gold. A lot of times you might think to yourself, well, think to yourself, well, I really want it. I really want this thing. I really want this person. And you put this person on such a big pedestal, right? But you have to realize that it's a facade, right? How a person appears is not who they are. There are a lot of people in the world who appear to be loving and kind, but they don't have the best intent. There are a lot of people who portray being nice, but you have to understand there's a difference between a nice guy and a good guy, right? A nice guy will tell you what you want to hear, but for his own gain. But a good guy sometimes will tell you what you don't like to hear to protect you, right? Like a lot of good guys will protect you from themselves. They will be like, no, I can't meet you right now at 12 a.m. It's late. Why do you want me to see you right now? You know, we have to fear Allah. We can't be alone together. He will break your heart before you lose your creator. So you have to understand, you know, there's a difference between the good guy and the nice guy. So my thing is, people are always at a spiritual level that is different from yours. And a lot of times you might assume that the way that they are treating you is indicative of your value or your worth, but it's not. Don't do that. The third point I want to mention, every human being in the world has protective jealousy over themselves. You are jealous over your own spirit. You don't like to give love and attention freely and for it not to be returned back to you. Nobody wants that, right? So when you put all of your love and attention and time into something and you don't get it back in return, you question yourself. You're like, well, like, you know what I mean? Like they walked away with it and they didn't appreciate it. They didn't value it because you value that love that you gave it. There's a lot of people who've been married for 20 years and 30 years, and they think to themselves, I gave this person my all. Why is it that they didn't value it? Because you have protective jealousy over yourself, you start to question why the other person doesn't miss you or doesn't value what you gave the person. But you have to understand the person is at a spiritual level where they are not capable of seeing your value. The same way a crackhead getting a hold of a Birkin bag, it's the same concept. And so you have to understand that love that you gave them, they didn't walk away with it. It's inside of you. And I'm going to get back to the fourth point. It's inside of you. All you have to do is take that love and give it back to yourself. Create a life for yourself that makes you happy. That love that you gave that person that you felt was so valuable, that you feel like they walked away with, they didn't walk away with it. It's already inside of you. Give it to yourself. In the morning, when you wake up, create a schedule for yourself that you love. Create a schedule for yourself that makes you happy. And when you wake up in the morning, wake up with purpose, right? With meaning. Understand that you have a whole day ahead of you that have so many mini surprises. You don't know what turn your day is going to take. And that's the beauty of life. So create this life for yourself. Take that love and cultivate it into yourself so that later on in the future, no matter what opportunity, career, job, or person leaves your life, you do not base your value on it because your value is to you. It's already inside of you. The love that you have is already inside of you. So don't be mad. Like, don't ask yourself, why is it that they don't miss me? A lot of times, people who are not on your level, they're not going to miss you. They're going to feel relief because they don't have what it takes to maintain you. A lot of people in the world want to be billionaires. A lot of them want to become millionaires. They want to have their own businesses. But when it comes time to create that business, to put the work and effort it takes, they don't have the characteristics to maintain it. In order to be a good business person, you have to be consistent. You have to be reliable. You have to be disciplined. You have to do things even though you don't feel like doing it. You have to get rid of your depression. You can't be depressed and anxious and then creating a business from the bottom up and hiring people. Your mindset has to be healthy, right? So sometimes you meet people who haven't done the work, the inner work, and they haven't become the character that they need to be in order to maintain you as a person. They're not on your level. And a lot of people end up marrying them, or they might end up getting with them, or in a talking stage, halal talking stage, because I don't condone haram relationships with them that families know about. And they realize, like, why is it this person is not seeing what I'm giving them? the value that I'm giving them. So you have to understand, because people are not always on your level. Or those who know the same as those who do not know. They are not the same, because people who are self-aware will have the awareness to appreciate the blessings that God has given them. People who are not self-aware are not going to be able to appreciate it and maintain it. So if nobody can maintain what it takes to keep you, if that person can't keep their promises, if that person can't be consistent or show up in a way that you show up for them, then it's time for you to understand that you are risking your self-esteem and your self-confidence for this person. Your confidence will go down, your self-esteem will go down, because you're trying to go back down to the level of a crackhead versus a Birkin bag. It doesn't work. So you need to go back up to your mountain. Enjoy the view. Enjoy the view that Allah has given you. Go back up that mountain. Do the inner work. Enjoy the view that God has given you and seek other opportunities on top of that mountain. Don't go back down the mountain and try to pick this person up. Come back up the mountain, and then when you're frail and weak and tired and your life force and energy has been taken, the person looks to their side and they're like, oh, so this is the person that loved me the whole time? And then he sees the view and he got all these options, and this is you. You poured all your life into him, but what did you give yourself? So as a woman, the main wisdom that I want to give you from this podcast or this video is pour into yourself so that you can pour into others in a way that's healthy. So that you don't let go of yourself and the vitality, the beauty, and the blessings Allah has given you. Go where you are loved and celebrated and valued. And be careful from mixing up interest versus somebody who values you. Every man can be interested in you, but that doesn't mean they value you. And their base on valuing you is contingent on their characteristic traits. The tarbiya that this person has been taught at home. Their discipline that they've been taught by their parents. If that man doesn't have tarbiya, if he doesn't have discipline, if he's not a Qawaam or a leader, that's how you know he won't be able to value you. And the same goes for a man who's looking for a great woman to marry. Do not look at the women that are interested in the superficial things like your money or your looks. Always go to somebody who values you for who you are and the work that you've done to get to be the person who you are, who sees you. Okay, so that's my advice to you guys in this podcast. I just wanted to freestyle it because I want to be myself in these videos. I'm a perfectionist. I always felt like I had to be so scripted for videos that I post, but I genuinely feel like whatever Allah puts in my heart and I say out loud in a video will be beneficial to someone out there. And I just wanted to say I appreciate all of you guys for supporting me all these years, all of the love, the kindness, and the support that you've given me. And if you want to, take part of my Quran classes, you can go to Quranic.mentor, where I teach girls Quran for 6 weeks straight. It's only $65 if you guys want to join, inshallah. And it's for 6 weeks. I teach all ages. And if you guys want to take part in the mentorship program that I have or coaching, you guys can take part of that as well. I will also drop the name of my podcast in the next video so you guys can follow me on Apple Podcast. Make sure once you guys listen to my podcast, you guys give me a 5-star rating and subscribe, like, and share, inshallah. And I'll see you guys next week.